Welcome to another episode and chapter of our LEGO journey. This one I wasn't quite sure how it would turn out because Clarkman ended up getting sick with the flu. So I didn't think that we'd have much to share this week, but surprisingly, when I went back and looked at all the footage of the things that we did and documented, I was kind of surprised just how much we got done. So you're about to watch it all here. I hope you enjoy the video, and I'll be back with you at the end to send you out. I oftentimes get saved by commenters on this channel, and I have another instance of that happening this week. And I have Clarkman down here with me because this is actually relevant to something that he pointed out. You remember when I put all these Ninjago sets together here? You remember how you mentioned how these don't look right combined together like this because the sidewalks don't work out? Well, I had someone comment that if you spin Ninjago City docks around 180 degrees, it actually works way better and looks better in this setup. Every time I move this thing, I just think about the Green Ninja Mech Dragon falling.
Should I take the Green Ninja Mech Dragon?
No, well, I think that's going to be okay there. We'll just slide that out of the way a little bit. These two should come apart, hopefully somewhat easily. That came off super nice. I don't think that was fully connected in either, which is maybe meant to be. Maybe I was never supposed to actually have this way. But I do like the setup where they're in this order. I'm just very curious to see what this actually looks like. It didn't even occur to me that this is actually the front of it. Because if you look at this set, and I'll show you like a little example here.
Wait,
That's actually the front, supposedly. When they display it on the box and they show it off, because this side, I guess, isn't as interesting. Kind of in the same way that if you look behind Ninjago City set, there's a lot going on, like you can see inside all the buildings, which was the benefit of this as well. But when you put it like this is actually the front of the place. The box shows it the other way. I had it on display the other way all this time, but now it's going to be like this, and we're going to put these together, and we'll see if it all works out. And I can already kind of tell. You see the sidewalk situation there? How that's going to go right through? It's going to be a thing of beauty, actually. You know what, Clark?
What?
I'm not a fan of the pin situation. I'm just going to take them out. I do not like connecting these together. It just leads to problems. So whether I'm a serious LEGO collector or not, I'm just going to slide these together. Can you be my pin holder, sir?
What?
you take, I take. All right, you just take those. Take the pins out of here. If I ever want to put pins in there, I'm sure I can, but I just don't think that's going to be the case. The whole shelf goes down. That's what I fear. That's why we should not touch this, but there we go.
Wow.
What do you think, Clark, man? Is that the way that it's supposed to be, you think?
I love that sidewalk connection. Bro.
Yeah, now it makes sense. We were saved.
Yeah, I'm like, that does not look right.
And you're right. It wasn't right. I'm so thankful to get that comment because thousands of people watched me put that on there. Literally one person in this world was like, hey, Greg, switch that around. And I was like, done.
That's like hours of LEGO right there.
Many hours later, yeah.
Just sitting on that shelf.
They're just glorious sets. Not only many hours, but mucho muni, though, too. But I just love it. This is like my favorite display down here, which is why it gets center staging. Although I have been debating whether to like move it down one level and then move it up here, because I feel like this feels empty, but I've seen about putting some type of art back here.
It'd be cool to have like a sun and like clouds or whatever.
I want like a sunset, like a lovely sunset made of Lego mosaic, something like maybe like this, you know, with our Darth Vader. Maybe we could do something like that, but you know.
Has Garmadon like in the background.
Oh, Garmadon!
A mosaic of Garmadon like in the background.
That's genius. Why has Lego not made that yet? But yeah, I'm very pleased with that. Like if you have these sets and you have them in some type of configuration, I would consider doing this because I think it looks better than what it would have otherwise, and I'm thankful for the tip. Welcome to the behind the scenes of the Brickitect store. Got two more sales that I need to send out. The first one is this LEGO Star Wars set, 75072 ARC 170 Starfighter. And I also sold this Marvel Spider-Man set, 76195 Spider-Man's Drone Duel. And after you take those off of my stuff for sale shelf, it's actually getting pretty bare. So we might need to list some more things this week. Keep the momentum rolling. Over the weekend, Cody got something that she ordered online, and it came in this box, and I was like, do not throw that away. That is the perfect Lego box. And I think the Spider-Man set will prove it. This is kind of my vision here. Have the paper around every side So whoever's jostling this thing around, it's got a little cushion where it can hit pretty much everywhere and be perfectly fine. And this is a nice sturdy box, so I don't have to worry too much about it getting flattened. But I do think if I put my usual bubble wrap on there, I think it'd make it a little too thick to fit in here. So I think that's gonna be all right. Throw a Brickitect sticker in there for good measure, and then we'll seal this up and send it out. These past few weeks I've been having a lot of fun going through some pretty heavy hitting sets from the backlog. Unfortunately though, this week I'm not going to quite have the time for that, but I did think of a set that I could start working on that will be really fun for me to share and also have little checkpoints that I can make my way through, so no matter how far or how not far I get through that, I'll still have something worthy to share. So let's go into the storage room of doom and I'll show you the set in question. I think it goes without saying that you have to enter the storage room of doom at your own risk. There's lots of things pretty much everywhere in here, including the whole center section, which is all my backlog. And I showed a little bit of this last week, showing what we have in here. And a lot of these are very big sets, but once you kind of get up here, there's some smaller stuff. And the set that I was thinking of is this one right here. This was a gift from my buddy Brad, who sent this to us for Christmas. Only it wasn't Christmas this year, it was Christmas last year, so that's how long it's been sitting up here. And this is the Botanicals Collection Succulents. This is 771 pieces, but as I mentioned, this is one that you can build in small little chunks. You can build all these things separately. In fact, I think on the back it shows it much better. And that'll allow me to try to make as much progress as I can this week. Heck, maybe I'll even get done with the whole thing. At the very least, I can get this thing unboxed, get it started, and most importantly, get it out of the backlog. As I turn off my light here, this was going to be one of the things I was going to tackle this week, trying to sort this, but that's way more than what I got time for. So instead, let's get into a Lego set that I'm sure there's not many people that are actually looking forward to. I thought that last week, honestly, when I built the typewriter, which is still sitting here in one piece. And I was like, no one's going to want to see this. Surprisingly, people did. But ultimately, this really isn't about the sets, is it? This is about the journey, and that's what we're on. So I'm going to unbox this with you guys, and we'll see what we're looking at inside and see where this thing starts at. First thing that I noticed on here is that there are punch tabs. I really wish Lego would stop doing that. I'm okay if it's like a small little set. Let's say maybe even up to $20. Let's make that the cutoff for punch tabs. After that, just give me some tape. I just want to be able to cut through that. And for most people, obviously I'm a weirdo because I like to defeat the punch tabs, as I call it. I put a knife in behind them to kind of get between the glue of the back of the set and then the punch tab itself, or the back, side and back, I guess you'd say. So I just kind of go in there like I'm lock picking a car, and then I open it like this. And I only do that because I save my boxes, and I wish that I didn't, because there's like no reason for it, but I just can't stop. I flatten everything down, I put them into a big box, which I'll show you here after we unbox this, since we're talking about it. Here's everything inside. Not bad. One thing they are doing that I'm happy with, no more folded manuals. I haven't had a folded manual in so long that it almost lost its meaning. I'll just show you some B-roll here as I set my camera up. You can see what my box storage system looks like. We'll get a little fancy pants here, because we like being fancy pants here on Brickitect. Leave a like. This actually came with 3 separate books, so if you had people that you wanted to build with, you could totally do that. You could split this up and have it done very quickly, I'm assuming. Or you could just choose which order you want to build them in. Here's a look at the bags. There's bag 1, and then there's 2, and then 2 bags for 3. I think from a visual standpoint, I think book 2 obviously kind of stands out to me because we got the coral and that lovely lavender in there. But I think I'm just going to go in order. I'm going to start on booklet 1. I really love when Lego does one singular bag, 1 for example, and then puts the other smaller bags inside there, just so you know you're getting all of them when you grab the singular bag. Like for example, bag 3, and I'm sure they have a reasoning behind this, probably part of the manufacturing process, if this one was just snuck inside there. Because I've had so many times where I went to build something. In fact, it happened last week when I was building the typewriter that I was looking for pieces, and I'm like, why are they not here? And then I found out that there was another small bag that still existed inside the box. So you gotta kind of watch out for that. But if they put them all like that, that would be pretty darn cool. So we're making progress here, right? Like no more folded manuals. Put those all in a bag. Get rid of punch tabs. And Lego, you are you're in business, baby. Actually, they are very much in business, and my little measly complaints definitely aren't going to stop them from dominating the toy market. So keep doing what you're doing, Lego. Keep making awesome sets that we can enjoy. I'm pretty darn happy with it. I like to nitpick, right? That's what Lego YouTubers do. They nitpick about things, and I guess I've fallen into that too, unfortunately. But I am going to build this up, and I will marvel at how amazing this is, assuming that it is, but we won't know until these pieces turn into this. Remember to do the transition. This did not take very long to build these, but this is what they turned into. Of the 3 from bag 1, I would say that this one is my favorite. I just can't draw myself away from sand green. I've just been obsessed with it, apparently. I can't stop building it. So that's what I did here, and these are what these little succulents look like. If you don't know what a succulent is, it's like a cacti. It's a form of cactus. I'm probably going to get destroyed by someone that knows way more than I do. You know how much I know about it? I'll show you. I read this, and I read this. So, yeah, that's the extent of my knowledge, and I guess anyone else that doesn't live in an area that can grow these type of things. But you can grow them inside too, I've learned. Anyways, the way that this works is these actually come together. You can see there's the little things inside, almost like a modular, and you can just stab those together. I'll set you down to do so. And that one goes there like that, and then that one goes like that, and they magically become this. So that's bag 1 and what that looks like. And now, I think I've got a little bit of time. At the very least, we can unbag bag 2, and I think this one's going to be great. I'm excited about this. Oh, I do want to say, since we're nitpicking, my only thing that I don't like about this is the gray on the sides of that. I don't know how well you can see it, but it kind of throws me off. That piece does not come in sand green, unfortunately. So you're kind of stuck with it if you want those angles, but I see that on the side there, and I'm like, that's gray, but that's okay. Let's do bag 2. This is what's calling to me. And that's one of the things I love about Lego Botanicals is the crazy Lego pieces they use to form these plants. Like you can see just in that first little shot there, how they used all these different elements to make something that looks actually kind of passable. Like if you didn't look at this very closely, and it's very small, of course, but if you looked at that on a shelf, you might not know right away that that's Lego. Speaking of interesting pieces, they got the Robin Hood hats in here, in this to use for leaves. I love that, dude. That is so cool. Take a look at that. Actual Robin Hood hats in here. I can't wait to see how that's integrated into this, which we'll see. We do another one of these transitions. We'll see after this. Putting the final piece on what could be the coolest part of this build so far. Check this guy out. That's pretty awesome. Now, we just got to put these all together. So, this is the other one that I built, which I really like the color of that. Very beautiful. And then you just put these together just like this. I kind of showed that in the last clip there. And then this one goes back here like that. This one's weird though. Like I had to double check this because here, I'll bring you over so you can actually see it. This doesn't actually get secured on here. It's almost like you could put like a little secret thing inside there. The rest of them are all sitting on there really well. Maybe that'll come up later. Maybe there's something you put inside there, but that's bag 2 and you saw bag 1, and I think overall that is a pretty nice progress. Unfortunately, you did hear that right. A pretty nice progress on the Lego Botanicals collection succulents. Not bad so far for building. Still got 1 bag left. I am out of time though, so we're gonna have to pick this up at another time, and it'll be nice to kind of break up the video a little bit because I like to kind of move you guys around a bit, not only for you but for me as well. But this is what it'll look like when it's all done. So we still have still got these to build, and that one I'm really looking forward to. Looks like some grapes, like some green grapes you can just pick right off there. We'll be back to that. I just found out from my Discord today that the Bricklink designer program orders started. In fact, they've been going for a few hours now, and I noticed that some of these are starting to sell out, including the Mountain Fortress is over halfway to its max orders. All of these have been funded so far, but this is a listing of all the ones that are currently up for sale, and I went a little crazy. I ended up ordering these 3. Got the Mountain Fortress, the old train engine shed, and I got the Snack Shack. Should be called the Sugar Shack. Got all 3 of those, and it cost me darn near $600, but I think these are gonna be some really sound investments, and I've never regretted buying these before. In fact, I've only ever regretted not buying ones because they do so well in the aftermarket. So we'll see what happens with these, and they're coming out in July, and my wallet will be literally screaming just when you thought the eBay shelf couldn't get any emptier, ended up selling the Gamers Market today. I have a duplicate of this. I bought 2. I thought it's a really cool set. I haven't built mine yet, but I'm selling this one because I just don't need a duplicate. And I make a little nest in here. And we'll put that right on top. I think that's gonna get there real nice, and they should be pretty happy with the service, hopefully.
Let me give you a quick hug.
I'll take a quick hug. You know what they say, Clark Man?
What?
All good Lego sets must come to an end. And today, our Lego Sonic set meets its maker.
Alright.
Literally, Clark Man built it.
Tails, watch out, watch out. Ah! Game over.
I saw that in Sonic 3, I think. But yeah, this has been sitting here on the table for a good bit. Clark Man built it, played with it.
I love this thing.
And now it's sitting, so... Now he's actually playing with it again, because I was like, dude, we gotta break that set down and do something with it. This is our dining room table. Luckily, we have a loving wife and mother who allows us to Lego pretty much everywhere, but it's been a long time, so.
Bye.
Say goodbye to Sonic the Hedgehog, Tails Workshop, and Tornado Plane. See the fear in Tails' eyes as he realizes what's about to happen to him. We're too late for Sonic.
My cousin.
Are they cousins?
No.
I don't think that's canon. I think they're like friends, maybe?
No.
Maybe it's his nephew.
No, I know. I actually know from watching a Sonic show. Sonic was just hanging out and doing stuff, and he found like Tails alone. People used to bully him for having 2 tails, so he left because he didn't like it.
That's in Sonic 2, the movie. I saw that in theaters. I don't remember any of that. Where was I?
Your brain dead.
Probably. Due to his abnormality, Tails is a victim of bullying during his youth. One day, however, he met Sonic the Hedgehog, who was inspired to be like him after seeing him run like the wind. Big brain, Clark Man. He knows all of the Sonic backstory. You know, having 2 tails is actually a benefit, I think. And no one should be...
And then you get turned into the helicopter.
Sometimes being different is actually being better, right?
I mean, he can really fly like a helicopter. He's a helicopter. My workshop's gone too.
The final piece. Tails made it to the end. Everything else, decimated. I figured since we're in the breaking it down phase of this video, I might as well keep it rolling, tearing down a set that I think was built and last played with before this series even started. This is Obi-Wan's Jedi Starfighter, a set that Clark Man really enjoyed. He built it, he played with it. It sat on Brickitect for a while, then migrated over here to my table, and now today it gets broken down and I guess put in the storage room of doom. I don't see this being a display piece, although it could be. If you're thinking about getting this, you could definitely put it on display. It's got nice minifigs and stuff with it too. It's just not where I see the Brickitect studio going. And just like that, Obi-Wan Starship is reduced to rubble. This is exactly what I'm trying to avoid with my Lego purchases in the future. I'm trying to only buy sets that I have intentions of building to put on display down here. Now that's not to say that every set will forever be on display. I plan to kind of retire things very much like what Lego does. After a few years, maybe some things are sitting out. This shelf over here is just very confusing. It was just stuff that I had built. Now there's actually a spot there for something where Ninjago City Docks was, but yeah, I gotta really get my shelf game upped. But going forward, all the sets that I get, they're gonna be intentional and they're gonna be on display at least for like a year or two until something else comes along that I'm like, okay, the treehouse has lived its life, let's put something else there. This Lego journey that we're on, I want to be able to look around and I want to be able to see it. I want to see evidence of it, and that's where we're going. So new ideas for a new year, and I'm excited to bring you along with us on that. That's not to say I won't buy Clark Man sets that he enjoys, particularly smaller ones that won't go on display, but he's told me with his own mouth that his favorite part of Lego these days is making his own stuff. So the best thing I can do is try to have this all beasted out so whenever he goes for a part, he can just be like, bloop, there they are. So that's what I'm doing for him, and for the studio, we're going big. Speaking of big Lego display pieces here in the Brickitect studio, I just finished another panel of the Darth Vader Lego art. It was kind of triggering me having that one spot there missing. It's missing no more. Here's the triple all lined up. And then all you have to do is just put these together like this. And that gives us another row right there. And that's the one that I built. Basically, Vader's chest is what we're working on. Here's what the display is going to look like, at least the top half of it. If you come out, the further out you go, the better it looks. But that's what Vader's looking like right now. And it's just going to be such a sweet thing to put on the wall down here. I can't wait. We've nearly reached the end of our Lego journey for this week, but I've got one thing left to do on my list, and that is to finish the Botanical Collection Succulent set, which all I have left is just bag 3. This is literally it to have this set done. I was thinking 771 pieces would be quite daunting, but lately I've been knocking out some pretty heavy hitting stuff, so yeah, it's not nearly as bad as what it seemed. In fact, this should be a cakewalk for me to finish, so I will unbag these and we'll finish up the last little bits of this set, and I'll show you what it looks like all fully completed. I was going to cut right to the end of this being done, but there's some interesting things in here I want to share with you again, including guns, Lego guns in here. We've got these things, which are like, I don't know, I guess hatchets. They're supposed to be leaves though. And then the coolest part probably, all these green eggs that are going to make up this entire plant. This is going to be wild. I'm curious to see how these all work into this, and that's like my favorite part of these sets. Just seeing like, how do you take this and make it into a plant? I know the answer now. I've seen it happen. There's some in there somewhere. You can't see it too well, which is good. On that note, I'm going to build this up. I'm having lots of fun with these botanical sets, and as much as they may not be popular with the majority of people, I think these are really fun, and it's just great. I love Lego. Here they are all finished up, and I have to say, this set finished off with a bang, because these are probably my favorites of the bunch, particularly this one. That just looks awesome. Even this tiny one is so much fun, but this one, look at that. Kind of beautiful. I don't know how I want to align these. I don't know. I guess nature has its way, right? Like, it just finds its way. Get you the cool shot here of those combining. And that's it. I finished the set. Now they all, ooh, this is cool. They all go together here, but what's even more important is all the secrets of the set are revealed. Remember that one that I had over here that you kind of go inside? Well, that's for these extra pieces. I was wondering, like, why do I have so many of these? Well, they sneak in there apparently when you're not using them. So you can probably set this up any way that you want, but we'll try to do it the way that they prescribe it here in the manual. With the 2 extras in there, there's 4 left in this set. And those come in handy right here, because in this slot here, and then this one right here, you put one. And then also, if we spin this around, one goes here, and one goes here. Okay, now we're in business. Get ready for the magic. Try to get you around here so you can see it all. I think that kind of works. That kind of works. So let's just move these all together and see what happens. That goes like that. Move that over a little bit so they're not touching so much. And then that one is going to go right there to make a little offset grid. And that's pretty darn cool. Sitting there just like that. What do you think? You like the look? Again, I know these sets they're for an acquired taste, I think. This isn't I'm sure not the most highest selling Lego theme, the Botanicals, but man, as a display piece, you could put this at any angle and it looks absolutely stunning. I love it. I'll probably display it, geez, I don't know. I'm trying to see what angle I like the most. Probably like that. I kind of like that. I want this in the front and then that on the side. But yeah, there you go. That's the set all finished up. Hit my goal of completing this with the time that I had, and I think it looks great. But I think it'll look even better on shelf. And we'll just set it right there. And that gives us lots of space. We could add a whole bunch more in there. Actually, it looks kind of small beside the treehouse. But it's a cool looking set. And again, you can kind of move this however you want. I love to see that though. Yeah, that's the angle. You got that kind of poking out of the back. That's probably the weakest one, with it being exposed with the gray pieces. So I think this is the way. And yeah, I love it. So there you go, my botanical build. These are my other ones. I've got the bouquet and I've got the bird of paradise. But there's more that I want. I'll keep my wanted list as a surprise, so when I pop up in your feed in the future, you'll be like, oh, what botanical set did he get this time? No one actually thought that, but I like them, and I think it's important in your Lego journey to do what you love. And sometimes you just love flowers and you love nature, and you can bring that in your studio or any place that you have that you do your Lego in. And that is a wrap on this week's episode. I hope you enjoyed coming along with us on our Lego journey on what was supposed to be an abbreviated week, but still felt like a full week to me. Got a lot of stuff done. I was happy with our progress, and I'm also happy that you tuned in and took the time out of your day to watch. So thank you so much for being a part of this, and we'll see you in next week's episode of our Lego journey.